Now, how we're going to do this session is I'm going to invite one of our speakers first to give a 30-minute talk, Kun Wachira Parathum from True Internet Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a very warm welcome to our speaker.
Hello. Sawadee krab. Good afternoon, everyone. As MC just mentioned, once again, I'm Wachira Parathum from True Corporation. And this session, I would like to talk what I call the invisible highway, which is underneath the ocean, or the submarine cable. Submarine cable is not just a part of telecom infrastructure anymore. Now today, submarine cable is become one of the most important geopolitical telecom assets. Throughout this session, let's explore together what's going on and why it's so important. All right? I'd like to start my presentation with this short video clip. This video clip will show how submarine cable actually looks like. Please have a look. So from this video clip, it's showing the submarine cable is actually the real internet backbone. It has been working behind the scene for many, many years. So this slide, I'd like to keep some interesting information as of 2025. There are almost 600 submarine cable systems are invested globally, with the approximation 1.6 million kilometers of the fiber optic strand around the globe. Can you imagine how huge it is? And 99% of the international, especially intercontinental core data, flow through this submarine cable, not satellite. Interestingly, almost 10% out of the entire submarine cable system in the world are invested by two major hyperscalers, Google and Meta. I will show you more detail in the following slide, what's going on. Next, I want to touch a little bit about the evolution of the submarine cable in the past 2 decades. This map is showing the submarine cable connectivity and the IXP. Let's go back to 2005 and see what's going on. The blue one is the existing cable. The yellow one is the one annually. After 2010, the IXP have been installed in the major locations, US, Europe, and Asia Pac, respectively. And since then, the submarine cable is growing very fast until 2025. As you can see from this animation, you can see the big difference in the past 2 decades. I will say that data demand is no longer linear. It's completely exponential. And if I have to give the short definition of the submarine cable, I would say invisible, irreplaceable, and indispensable. Submarine cable systems play a very important role as the core global infrastructure from the past until today and also in the future. This slide, I want to touch a little bit about what I call perfect storm. Why now today we require a lot of capacity? There are key 3 drivers: AI revolution, 5G, and cloud expansion. For AI revolution, AI data center, they require a huge bandwidth comparing to the typical data center in the past to fully support its ecosystem perfectly. And for the 5G technology, it also requires the ultra-low latency, which demand the cable redundancy and diversification. For the major cloud provider, they are aggressively scaling their route in Asia Pac. All of this requirement, just only one solution that happened, which is the submarine cable. Also, recently, during the year of 2025 to 2027, there are the huge investment in the submarine cable in the Asia Pac, which approximately $13 billion and is targeting to the underserved route, including Thailand. Why is that? Because the new power is no longer in US or Europe. It's moving to intra-Asia. This slide is very important. I want to emphasize this one. There is the big shift in the submarine cable system in the past 10 years from the hyperscaler. After 2012, hyperscaler shift from buying submarine cable capacity to building their own capacity. And now today, almost 40% out of the entire submarine cable system globally belongs to hyperscaler. Comparing to 2015, it's just only 5%. And this number is increasing significantly year by year. Let me give you one example. The submarine cable called Candle, one of the consortium party is Meta. Just only one cable system can provide the capacity almost 600 terabit capacity, which is a lot higher than the typical submarine cable in the past. And all hyperscaler, they aggressively increasing their direct connectivity into APAC region. And they already bypass some landing location with some telco. And just remain only the strategic landing location, which I call exclusive partnership. They still need the landing right and the good cooperation in some strategic landing location. And the good news is that Thailand, we have this. Let me show you more detail in the following slide. This is the submarine cable map in Asia Pac as of beginning of this year. It's mainly focused on the submarine cable invested by the hyperscaler, Google and Meta, and some are Microsoft and Amazon. The solid line is the one up and running. The dashed line is the one under the construction. But all together, as you can see from this map, the density of the cables of the submarine cable here, that's a lot in the Asia Pac. Why is that? First, they want to increase the end-to-end control in the APAC region. And the second, they want to capture the new high-growth market, which is APAC. Why is APAC? I would say nowadays APAC is the center of the gravity for this reason. First, there are more than 4 billion users in APAC, which is about 58% of the global user. Second, just only Southeast Asia. There are more than 400 million users in Southeast Asia, which already exceeds the one in North America. And just look at only one country, India. There are more than 100 million new users added annually in India, which considered as the fastest growth in the world. And the last one I just mentioned, recently there is the huge investment in the submarine cable in this region. So it means that whoever control the connectivity in APAC, they could control the next chapter of the internet. Let's look at Thailand, our country, where we are right now in this game. As of now, there are more than 10 submarine cable systems officially landed in Thailand, and some are under the construction. So this one I just mentioned about the one that already officially launched. The latest one is SJC2, Southeast Asia Japan Cable number 2, which started the operation in July last year, and True is one of the consortium parties. Following by ADC, MIST in 2024, and AE1, APG, and so on. Some of submarine cable system has been operated for several years, but some of them has been operated for more than 20 years. For example, Symphony 4, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Western Europe number 4. Started operation since 2005, which is already 21 years. For your information, one cable system, the design lifetime is 25 years or more. So we are talking about a very long-term operation and investment. And now let's look at the landing location in Thailand. There are 2 strategic landing locations in Thailand, western side and eastern side of Thailand. In the south, southern side, not western side, sorry. In the southern side, there are 2 major locations, Songkhla and Satun. Songkhla is landed the submarine cable from the Gulf of Thailand, and Satun is landed the cable from Andaman Sea. And the eastern side of is in Chonburi and Rayong, which is prepared for the mega project of the government, EEC. And all of these landing locations can cover the entire connectivity of Thailand and also the Indochina region. I want to highlight this one. Let's talk about what is the key advantage of Thailand. Why hyperscaler cannot bypass us. First, as I just mentioned, Thailand is not new in this game. We have more than 10 submarine cable already landed in Thailand. And we also sitting in the middle of India, Southeast Asia, and East Asia. So the traffic will pass through this region. And most importantly, we are a geopolitical non-aligned position. So we can work with the US and the Chinese suppliers and partners. And it's the main reason why they cannot bypass us. And I would say our amazing geography is a destiny. With our amazing geography plus our neutrality, we could be the architect of the connectivity in this region, not just only the corridor. Now let's talk about the possibility that Thailand could become the new digital hub in this region. I want to share some interesting information. Let's compare to number one in this region. I think everyone knows, Singapore. As of now, there are more than 50 submarine cable systems landed in Singapore from the western side to the eastern side. Western mean from Europe, India to Singapore. Eastern mean from Singapore to Hong Kong, Japan, and US West. This number is about 5 times higher than the one via Thailand. This means something. First, there are too many submarine cables landed in Singapore right now. As everyone knows, Singapore is just a small country, small island. So the regulation for landing the new cable in Singapore is not that easy as before. And this is the second implication. This is the good opportunity of Thailand to be the diversified route of this region. However, this plan is not happen automatically. We need a well-planned strategy. Let me show you this. The blue dashed line is the route via Singapore compared to the red dashed line, which is via Thailand. It has been proven that the latency via Thailand is significantly reduced. This means a lot in telecom. I think everyone knows. All right? As I just mentioned, we need a well-planned strategy. So let me address some challenges in my point of view. There are 3 challenges that I think is quite important. Cable maintenance and repair in Thailand territorial water. Good news is that there is only few cable cut and repair in Thailand territorial water. But it also means we still have the big room of improvement. How can we make it faster and more efficient? Currently, there is no regulation to protect the cable landed in Thailand. There is no landing corridor in Thailand as in another country. It means that there could be a chance that cable could get cut or damaged. And once it gets cut, the consequence is we need to do the cable repair. And for your information, for the one cable repair and maintenance, it could take several weeks up to several months. And we are losing a lot of capacity during each maintenance. Okay? But the most important for my view is the regulation from the local authority in Thailand is the big challenges. How we can facilitate and accommodate the new cable to properly land in Thailand. And even how we can convince the new investor and the new project to land it in Thailand in the future. The sooner we can achieve these challenges, the faster Thailand could become the digital hub. This is my last slide. And this is the key takeaway. In the past, when we talk about telecom, it's visible. We can see telecom tower, fiber optic, we can see switching center. We can mainly measure and control. But as you can see throughout this session, the power is chief under the sea. Whoever can control the submarine cable route, they can shape the next chapter of the internet connectivity. And before I end my presentation, I want to emphasize one thing. Thailand has a great opportunity with the excellent advantages. There is only one question left. Will we use this to lead or to let somebody else to decide the connectivity in this region for us? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kun Wachira. That was a very eye-opening look into the situation. Now, to continue on with our full panel discussion, may I invite our moderator, who is from the morning, our keynote speaker, back to the stage again, Marc Bruyere. And joining him on the panel are Supat Eamwiwat from International Gateway Company Limited, Wachira Parathum from True Internet Corporation again, Ubonpan Chuenchom from National Telecom, and Porravee Niloubol from Symphony Communication. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a very warm welcome, and just a few moments as we set the stage for our panel discussion.
Thank you again I'm very glad to be on stage again for a very important topic and how Thailand will face new challenges now to get and to be the next hub in Asia. We need one more. Is it? Yeah.
Submarine cables and chairs go together, so just take a few moments before we continue with the program. Thank you.
Then we're gonna ask the different panelists to join in a few seconds. Yes, then thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please join us on stage.
Yeah, then Wachira. Then we're going to start by self-presenting themselves one by one and say, Ubonpan, you want to go first and to start to present yourself, and so if you have some content, yes, please go ahead, then we go one by one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and Sawadee Ka. I'm Ubonpan Chuenchom from National Telecom or NT. Actually, I have a slide, if you can open for me, please. While we're waiting for the slide, let me introduce some quick sentence about NT that you might not know. NT is the merging between CAT and TOT for 4 years already. We are still 100% owned by the government. So surprisingly, in the telecom market, still there is a company still owned by the government. Yes, we are. And we are very competitive in terms of the open of the market. And yeah, next slide, please. NT is not just solely the international service provider. We are also the local service provider in terms of like number one, not number one. So because we have two here, we are in top of the broadband service provider within country, and we are one of the top service provider for the international infrastructure. In terms of the local, as you may know nowadays, there are a lot of data center established here in Thailand. So this is just a few pictures of the readiness of the fiber infrastructure that we can provide to every data center in Thailand nowadays. And in terms of the cable landing station, currently there are 9 cable landing stations in Thailand at the moment. NT owns 5 out of 9 cable landing stations in Thailand at the moment. So we are the largest submarine service provider for Thailand. And in terms of the, this is not the slides, but so sorry about, the mix-up. Everything happened. Okay, everything happened. This is a slide I sent to my team that this is a slide that I want. So thank you very much so that you can remember. Sorry about the mistake. ADC is the newest one, like Kun Wachira announced that we launched and we happily sales on this one. The major customer is the OTT. I'm sorry. And this is the readiness of the on-net that we have at the moment. Out of 12 submarine cable launched in Thailand at the moment, we own 7 out of 12. So TIS is the oldest one at the moment, if we not count SPIE. But TIS is a very reliable and is the shortest latency between Thailand and Singapore at the moment. But the newest one definitely is the ADC. So I think I will stop here first. Otherwise, you will see the other slide that I don't want you to see. So sorry about that. Thank you.
Ubonpan, thank you. Then we already introduced yourself, Wachira. Thank you for your presentation just before and so. Then Supat. Yep, from Symphony.
Excuse me, I don't have a slide. My introduction, my name is Supat Eamwiwat. I'm working with the International Gateway. We are the most junior one in this table. And then we are established 8 years ago. And then we are a nationwide switch provider. We own the fiber around the country and provide international bandwidth services, together with the domestic services as well. Our network mainly resides on the railways, OPGW and highway as well. And then we also have the license to land the submarine cable in Thailand. That's short, this introduction for us.
Thank you, Supat from International Gateway. And now Wayne from Symphony. And
yes,
if you have a slide, thank you.
Sure. Okay, Swadikap, everyone. So, my name is Porravee. You can call me Wim. I actually look after the global business group. So, I would like to talk a bit about the Symphony. So, for the Symphony, we are regional connectivity provider. So, providing our connectivity service to our carrier partner, hyperscaler, OTT, as well as enterprise customer as well. So based on the service that we provide, we using our own network infrastructure for both terrestrial, and we also have our own subsea cables called MCT, start from Rayong going to Malaysia. So based on our own infrastructure, we can create the diversity solution to the customer as well. In terms of the interconnect between Thailand to other countries, so we all work with the partner, providing end-to-end service to the customer. Yeah. So this is our profile. So shortly, yeah. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you for the self-introductions. Then we're going to jump into the very main questions, and that's related to the challenges that have been presented just before. Then we can start from you. And but then you can start with about regulations and compare to Singapore, or what it is the difficulty to maybe getting more flexibility here in Thailand. And it has to be also open. You can interact between each others. The mic could jump to different details also during that panel. Then, please.
Can I start first one? Yeah. Excuse me, organizer, can you help me open my slide? Yeah, first thing first, we would like to show this figure to understand what is going on the submarine cable in these regions. So basically, when we talk about the submarine cable in this region, it's no doubt that nowadays Singapore is the regional hub to serve the network connectivity. But you're seeing that Thailand and Malaysia is speeding up because some obstacle in Singapore, as someone saying that Singapore is small island, and then limited of the power, limited of the resources, and then few hyperscaler and customers start to feeling that it's my need to diversify to somewhere to mitigate the risks. And then Malaysia and Thailand is come to the picture. And then if we go back to this slide, you see that when we talk about the network connectivity, we have both terrestrial network and subsea network as well. When the traffic talk about among the continent, of course the subsea will take the nearly whole traffic. But when we talk smaller in the Great Mekong sub-region, I think that Thailand would be the center point to serve the Great Mekong sub-region in this particular area. And then the Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand can be complement each other, because start from Malaysia and Thailand. And then I think that Thailand will be the better position because we can serve the country surrounding us, especially when you talk about China. China having that they have a Belt and Road Initiative program. And then one of subset of that program is about the digital Silk Road. And then now China starting to set up the new gateway at Kunming. And then the Kunming will be a new international gateway to connect to Southeast Asia. And then there will be a demand to drive the traffic terrestrially apart from the subsea network. And then you can see that Thailand is the hot spot to be the distribution hub for the traffic. I would say that Thailand can be two positions for this case. One gonna be the Great Mekong gateway, and secondly can be Asian digital corridor to supplement the Singapore and Malaysia. That's what my personal opinion. Maybe some.
Thank you. Wim?
Yeah. So if you ask me about Thailand can become connectivity hub, I would say definitely yes. Yeah. If you look into the global map that Kun Nung just showed, you will see the Southeast Asia is in the middle between east part of the world and west part of the world, right? And then if you zoom in, so you see Thailand as a center for this region. Yeah, if you look by geography of Thailand, so you will see the ocean for both sides. Andaman side on the west part next to Indian Ocean, while for the right side, Gulf of Thailand next to Pacific Ocean. So I think this is where East meet West. Yeah. So then the Thailand become a very good location, for connectivity hub by geography. Yeah. But from the connectivity perspective, so this allows Thailand to easily connect to other digital hub, like in Singapore and also Malaysia, as well as on the north part, Vietnam and also Hong Kong. So this can become very a good location. Yeah, but to become the connectivity hub, it's not just about how many subsea cable landing or connecting to Thailand.
Yes.
But I think it's all about all the ecosystem that need to be there, like network infrastructure, power supply, facility, all our operator that we operate, right? And also regulatory support by a government. So I think this need to be like collaboration together, to put Thailand as a hub, yeah, right.
Then, Wachira, you want to say a little bit more, especially also in the angle of when we want to have a cable, you need to respect some regulations and aspects, and so it will be interesting. Yes. But it also depends maybe on the different point. Ubonpan, you'll be replying as well. You have a cable between Singapore and Thailand. You confronted to both regulations. Your point of view would be interesting next.
Okay, thank you. I would like to add on top of what Kun Supat and Kun Wim just mentioned, especially the window of the opportunity. I want to highlight that this opportunity is not open forever. There is a time limited. One thing that I personally believe we should do as soon as possible. This means all sectors, including from the public and the private sectors, which is the regulation. I would say that now our current regulation is still far behind from the industry expectation. And there is the room of the improvement with the immediate action. Once this window is closed, it means we are too late to push our country ahead as we plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just add to the panelists, I want to frame another information to the audience. We are talking about just only the submarine, but actually we also have terrestrial network connectivity to Singapore as well. Adding up to the submarine, I trust that terrestrial nowadays we can count, if we call it a name, maybe at least 10 on the terrestrial. So plus submarine, we have 12 nowadays, if we not include Telelink, which is not ready yet. So 12 plus 10 is around 22. So with this add up of the terrestrial, it can make Thailand has a lot of interesting point for the connectivity, because some writer should think that submarine is the key to make the country as the hub. But actually Thailand, we have the land crossing to Malaysia, and nowadays 80% of capacity is on terrestrial at the moment. Just only 20% riding on the submarine cable system. But it doesn't have any issue at all, because in terms of diversity, actually, it brings the beautiful kind of the pictures to the picture of Thailand, that we have a lot of diversity on the terrestrial route, we have diversity on the submarine cable system. So this is the adding to the question whether Thailand can be the hub of the region, but actually hubbing, every country wants to be the hub. Vietnam also think about in the near future that whether they can be also the hub as well. Malaysia, somebody said that they are the hub before Thailand. So I think it doesn't matter at all to be the hub or not to be the hub. If the business in Thailand is growing well, people has a growth of the GDP, bring the knowledge of the country, and bring more investment and bring the value to the country, I think that bring the most to Thailand. But in terms of geopolitical, in terms of the location of Thailand, definitely it looks like can be the hubbing. Yeah, but just like Kun Wachira say, there is a room to improve in terms of the regulation. If the regulation can come up to the market complexity, I think Thailand will be a very good location for all the suppliers, for all the investors, for all the local operators.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. And then I see also some similarities of other, like in Japan, they have their own language. Thailand has its own as well. It means it's special traffic because it's based also on the language that we are actually using. And then traffic will stay inside Thailand because of it, but it could be a hub, it could be traffic going through, because we need to interconnect internationally the different traffic for the other country in the region. And then if we talk now a little bit about security, robustness of the network and capacity to grow and maintain the connections across Asia-Pac. You mentioned a good part because of the geography of Thailand. You can have land connections as well, and so, but to extent, how is your feeling regarding robustness of the network? We heard some sea cables being cut, going back to sea cables, or even on the land, and so, about the experiences you had or the risk you identify, and so, to keep the network running.
First?
Yeah,
okay.
and then
in
go back
terms
there.
of the security, this is a very good question nowadays because we are in a situation of the world that there are a lot of cuts, whether it's because of the war or because of the national disaster. Sometimes, you know, as NT, we are like the major provider of the submarine. We used to have like 4 submarine cable almost cut at the same time. That is the nightmare. So that brings us the design that submarine, we cannot have just only 1 submarine to 1 country. At least 2 or 3 submarine to Singapore is the must for our company. But I trust that the other may think the same thing. But terrestrial can be another choice. But terrestrial has like the flavor of the flapping kind of characteristic. Submarine is quite more stable, but investment of the submarine is quite huge, right? And another thing about the security is when Kun Wachira said that nowadays 40%, right, is invested by the OTT. When you think about 100% own submarine cable by OTT to 1 country, meaning that all the capacity controlled by just only 1 company. If that submarine is shut down, if that submarine is cut, what happened to the consumer in that country? Is there anybody think about this? So this kind of the security thing that the regulator must think about, whether if we rely on 40% nowadays, it can be up to 50, 60% owned by a very small number of the players, just only 5 or 6 that can invest. What happened to the world? Yeah, so this kind of the regulator things in each country have to think about. Yeah.
Okay. To answer your question, Mark, if I were 5 years ago or more, the answer is yes. It's definitely impact. But as of today, I would say yes, but minimal impact. We could get some traffic congestion for some specific time if the several cable cut happen in the same time. However, now today, there are many new submarine cable systems planned to land in Thailand. Sorry about that. Some of them we cannot disclose. But for the good news, we are on the right track. Okay? So, and in addition, just Ubonpan just mentioned about the terrestrial network. According to our geography, we still have the terrestrial network connecting from Bangkok, Malaysia, and Singapore as the diversified route of the subsea one. And in addition, we also have the CDN installed locally in Thailand. And all of this come together. It can reduce the impact a lot. So, in short, to answer your question, Mark, this incident, if it happens, it's not going to shut down a country. Thank you.
Wim, please.
Yeah, totally agree with these 2 persons, right? But from I just want to add on the subsea cable. I think today the subsea cable we consider as the best performance. You know, low latency. You know, very stable. Yeah, but when it was cut, it's like it take time to restore, right? Yeah, and what we have seen in Thailand. So if the cable cut, then we have terrestrial, which is another or alternative a route that we can connect to other countries or our other digital hub. So then I think this is something that we can do, and also so if compare in the past 4 or 5 years, so Thailand we I think we have some incident, right? But today our network infrastructure is more stronger. We have cable on terrestrial. We also have subsea cable. We complement each other on this one. Yeah. So yes, this is mine.
Ubonpan, thank you.
Yes, last one, just to complement Kun Ubonpan. I think the investment for subsea cable can be the consortium based on what we have done in the past. And then they also have come up with the private cable as well. And in these two scenarios have to be in parallel at the moment. Because why? Because some OTT, as you can see on the news, nowadays they invest about multi-billion US dollar to build their cow region in Thailand. And some of them, they expect to use Thailand for being the data storage for the region. So then imagine that the capacity of the bandwidth that they consume very huge. Some hyperscaler, they're talking about multiple tera. Some hyperscaler, they talk about peta-tera at the moment to serve the upcoming AI and cloud infrastructure. So by doing the buy and sell bandwidth from the traditional way may not answer that question. So in order to secure their infrastructure and the future services, so then the hyperscaler thinking about to build the private cable that you can see nowadays.
Yeah, you mentioned hyperscalers, and we saw that you growing up also the traffic from their own cables, and so then what investments had to be in common was very specific because it's not related to the hyperscalers. They can go everywhere. They have in some way going already into space to connect with a different way for different purpose and so as itself. But when we talk about just you guys are actually very from Thailand operators on the cables all around, like you actually kind of compete with hyperscalers traffic as well. And then is there any incentives from the government, from the regulators and so to get a little bit more benefit to work together and so how that works in Thailand compared to Singapore, compared to other countries in the region? Is the regulators bringing more facilities or help or flexibilities? Or is it kind of intentions about it to make Thailand different regarding support from regulators and government?
Excuse me, maybe I'm starting first. I think you know that when you run the data center for AI and cloud capability, now the main issue is on the power, and then I think even at the moment, even Singapore, Malaysia, they are struggling on the power expansion, and then Thailand will be in a good place that we are. As I heard from now, our power generation company, they still have the power capacity left, and then planning to expand, and then this is key as well. And then the clean energy will be the most important for hyperscaler to attract them to come to the country. And then also we have seen a campaign from the government try to provide a fast track for the investment and try to create one-stop shop for the foreign investor come. That's what I'm seeing nowadays. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, yes, I think right now Thailand will be the one that very attractive to all the hyperscaler OTT, right? Because our government also support. We also have like power supply and water to to supply all the data center as well. And the what we are having right now for us as the connectivity provider, I think this is very a golden time for us, to provide, the connectivity from Thailand to their digital hub in Malaysia and Singapore, and to provide the connectivity to that digital hub. I think we also need to prepare everything, like the network route. I think need to be diverse, and also the solution also need to be like a diverse solution between terrestrial and also subsea cable. So I think this kind of thing that we also need to prepare and support them for this huge move. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I will talk in the different side other than these two gentlemen. Well, I think there is the positive impact from both AI and hyperscaler to our country. The common impact is the massive international capacity coming into Thailand. From the AI data center, they require a huge international capacity connecting to other data centers outside Thailand. Without this, it's meaningless. From a particular point of view, as I mentioned earlier, they are also scaling a new submarine project into Thailand. When we combine this impact together, this means we are expanding the national infrastructure of Thailand. And this also helps to support Thailand to become a dual hub, as Khun Wim just mentioned as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just want to add some concept and mindset about this. When you think about data center, 100,000 investment to Thailand in terms of million baht. I already joined one of the event among the data center service provider, and they asked the question whether this huge investment to Thailand bring the value to the country. So the answer is yes and no. No, if you're talking about the telecom market, you're talking about the technology supplier kind of the market, very small percentage of supplier and business will take advantage on this one. But that 100 million of, 100,000 million investment to Thailand is not bring to the Thai people yet. If Thailand cannot capture the cloud, the AI technologies to add into the value of the business, we will lose all the investment value that come into Thailand. Yeah. So one thing that government has to support is that we have to take the next phase of the value of this investment, whether we can bring it up and be the value of the country in terms of the people and the enterprise kind of the market, not just only the telecom people just like us, who definitely we gain the benefit in terms of this investment nowadays, but to the country, very few percentage that going to the country nowadays, if the government and the regulator doesn't change the rule at the moment. And another thing is the government, definitely, because my company is still owned by the government. So we know that the government take this thing quite seriously about try to support the investment from the other country, like the data center, the submarine cable to the country. So as NT, we will launch to invest the Thailand fiber optics from the eastern part and to the Bangkok to build the underground, 100% underground from the EEC to Bangkok. And we also want to extend from Bangkok down south to Songkhla as well, because this is the major hub of the cable landing station at the moment. So this is like the fiber optics that we have to prepare. But back to the regulators, what is the role of regulators? Their role is to make the rule that is fair enough for both investor, for both local people, for both consumer, to be the fair games for everyone. Just if you have the kids, if you don't make the rules, they play around and they're growing up to be a very bad person, right? Same thing, if the regulator cannot make the fair rules, what happened to Thailand when we grow up after today? So this is a very good state that regulator have to make it so seriously, try to come up with a very good rules to make investor, telecom just like us, the consumer, to be protected, to be in the fair game. Yeah.
Yeah, your analogy of talking about raising kids and family in some aspect is interesting because it's, yeah, you need to get rules. And so it was very important to be able to guide and get equity for everyone in the country itself. And you mentioned fast track for power, then in any case, everything we do in this industry, it is related to the capacity of the power we can get itself. Will be already identified as a strong limiter. Itself, and then all the challenges also related of the capacity of sustainability power, and the way that we get the power needed to kind of grow and with ecological concern as well. By sustainability power means this, and so maybe just a quick questions to. Get an overview as well, just for my personal interest in Thailand, the investment not related to telecom, but also how the power sustainable and effort are going on that path. That was just a quick reply from all of you quickly. What is your impressions for to sustain the growth of whatever sea cable, but we need power with sustainable source. What is the status in Thailand?
So we sell the country, right? So then we have the very great power that can supply to our country and with the highest liability. Normally, we experience that very little case that we have the power shutdown. So we provide the stability and the power up to the requirement at the moment. And then also the clean energy will be subset of the requirement as well.
Yeah, in terms of the power supply in Thailand, I think we have the power come from many sources in Thailand. So from the green energy, and also wind energy. We also have the many sort of the power to supply all the data center or hyperscaler data center. I think this is something that we also, I would say, like advantage than other like Singapore and Malaysia, who they also have limitation in terms of the sources, the power sources. So I think, yeah, this is one of our advantage. Yeah.
I have to say that this is out of my expertise, but I heard that now the government already have the main focus on the power reservation. There is, but I forgot the name of this kind of regulation, but it's already ongoing to reserve the huge power to support this kind of upcoming project in the future. So I think we are on the good track to become the, what should I say, the hub, not just only in telecom, but it's going to be like the entire ecosystem in this region. Thank you.
Sustainability, I mean, for NT, if we want to sustain in the business, definitely we keep going in terms of investment as the core and major network infrastructure for the market and also for the government as well. And the wholesale market, as Kun Wachira mentioned, that nowadays OTT coming up to the high supply chain, so they build by themselves, meaning that we have to go to the end end customer much more. Luckily for NT, we are like the still support by the government. So we have the project of the government to utilize and make Thailand government to be digitalized as much as possible. So this will be like the key direction of NT to sustain in the market nowadays. But sustainable for Thailand, I think we have to talk about the stakeholder of the business. It's not just only the telecom operator just like us, but the consumer, everything, right? So I think if we can make everything gear up, and not just only the telecom, the consumer, the education, the power and everything, I think Thailand will sustain fine enough for this kind of opportunity to Thailand at the moment. Yeah.
That's good to hear. So yeah, that's obviously very, very important for the challenge to be a hub here in Thailand, to get such capacity, reserve and intentions or long term and so to make it happen itself. And as we have you on stage, and so it would be also interesting if you, it's very particular to maintain a submarine cable. There's particular challenges, and so it means to repair it, and so is a cut, it need to be replaced, something happen, how that works, and so maybe you can share some of your experiences that your company had to maintain cables when a cut happened, why, and so any other experience you can share, because it's not the classical network to have a sea cable, and the audience would be interested to hear that.
If you remember almost 2 or 3 years ago when there was the cable cut in the Gulf of Thailand, and make one out of the submarine cable of NT maintenance for almost 6 months. That is the worst nightmare ever that we have. It's because of the process that we have to deal with the government, try to get approval to bring the vessel into the Gulf of Thailand, because by that time they think that our vessel is like to have the import and export kind of the process. After our CEO going up to ministry and ask the help for the government, FYI that nowadays, if you have to do maintenance in the Gulf of Thailand, the process is nothing. Just FYI to the government, I mean to the authority, and then you can bring the vessel to maintenance. So nowadays, the maintenance process in the Gulf of Thailand, in the territory of Thailand, is much quicker than before. And for the investment in the future, definitely, you know, I'm with the submarine networks almost 20 years now. In the past, building one subsea cable takes just only 2 years, but nowadays we can see 5 years. Not just only because of geopolitical, but also because of the acquisition of the supplier, make them so hard for them to get in the queue, to get the confirmation to build the subsea cable. And the pricing is going up quite a lot. So that even we do the feasibility with the pattern of the demand from the market, sometimes the Thai operator just like us think that this is not feasible at all if we use our, money to build this kind of the submarine cable system. So it's a huge challenge for the future. If anyone want to invest in the subsea cable with the local market, small country just like us, so international investment of the subsea cable will be the key driver to bring the submarine to the country. But the question is how we can make friends with them and make us live happily together in the long run. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, I think there's one story that I can share in this panel. It's based on the true story, from True. Well, when we talk about the cable repair, as I mentioned in the slide, we didn't have much cable repair in Thailand territorial water, but there is still the room of improvement from how we can avoid the cable cut or cable outage. One thing that my team, on behalf of True, made the decision is we did something we call over-engineering for one project that we are offering the service right now. It means that for the entire branch, about 1,000 kilometers before it landed in Thailand, into Thailand, we call double armor. Double armor means we have the double protection on the cable that we invested and implemented in the Gulf of Thailand. It's not a good idea, but we have to do this because we don't know how soon we can achieve the challenges as I mentioned, especially the physical security and the cable repair. So I would say just like the short-term solution is we have to invest more with the over-engineering. This is one of the real case that happened from my project. Thank you.
So for me, I haven't had the experience about the subsea being cut much. Yeah, but what I just share on the challenge when it's cut. Or I think one of the challenge is about the process. The process that we fix the subsea. And also related to regulatory from the government as well. I think this is something that it could be a challenge. The process takes too long, for the government to allow us to go or to do something on the subsea cable fix. Yeah, I think this is what I can share. Yeah.
For our company, we don't have the cable in Gulf of Thailand yet, but we can share the experience from the study. Gulf of Thailand actually we call very shallow water, and then when we do the subsea cable, normally the experts saying that you cannot do only a traditional burial cable. You have to go deeper and deeper. Traditional way, you have to go about 1.5 meter, but the experts said in the Gulf of Thailand you have to do even deeper, 3 meter, 5 meter, to avoid the cable cut. And then it costs a lot of money. The way that crew doing is one thing. To build a bigger cable, more protection is one way. Yeah. And then the one thing is that on the submarine cable in Thailand, we do not have a vessel fleet for cable repair and installation yet. So then this is one thing that in the future, once we put a lot of support to bring the subsea to the country, I think the vessel fleet of the Thailand will be one of the topic that we have to discuss. Yeah.
I think not everybody can install such cable deeper and deeper. They need more vessel technologies and so to be able to install faster or maintain and fix some cuts and so quickly and so. That's big challenge. You mentioned suppliers and a delay to get the new cables coming in if we want to invest more. And so I need some time to actually get this. And so, Wachira, when we were discussing at the beginning, and so you mentioned 4 suppliers. Who maybe it's interesting. I don't remember them. I'm not really part of this industry, but I would be, I think, very interested. You mentioned those suppliers and who install your cables from those suppliers. What is the challenges you have with the suppliers, and so if we think of in the future, quick future, we have $1 billion of whatever money, and then we want to have a cable right away. Who will be the best one? And so, what is the challenges about it? Just maybe open up a larger discussions, putting that way.
Okay. Among 4 suppliers in the submarine cable industry, I cannot say which one is the best, right? But one thing that I want to share is the challenges. Back to one of the challenges that I mentioned in the slide. The project for supplier, I call the turnkey supplier. It means that they're starting from the cable design, manufacturing, installation, and hand over to the consortium parties. The most possibility that could make the project delay is from permission. The supplier can control the cable and equipment from the manufacturer, but they cannot control how long it's going to take that we get the permit in each region. For example, for some disputed area in South China Sea, if everyone knows, there are many disputed areas. Some area that the cable has to pass through, we need to get the permission from several countries before we do the installation. So this is the one challenging international, just only domestic one in Thailand, but it's happening easily in this region. And for example, I heard that some project could be delayed 2, 3, or 4, or more than that. I mean, 2 or 3 years or more because of just only one permit. Thank you.
From your suppliers and so in the past and in the futures, what was the?
Yes, can the organizer open the slide just to share? Yeah, you see from the slide, like Wachira says, there will be the big guy represent the turnkey submarine cable installation. Each one represent, I would say, each one represent the country. You say NEC will represent the Japan, HMS represent China, Subcom represent the USA, ASN represent the France or Europe country. Mostly the capacity of the cable subsea worldwide mostly has been booked in advance for anchor customer like the OTT that mentioned in the slide. So then, like some panelists say that once we want to initiate our subsea cable, we are in the bottom line of the queue. Maybe take 5 years time, 6 year time. So sometimes we have to find a small player in the industry. The cable manufacturer, they just produce the cable manufacturer. Equipment, they will produce with the equipment. Some active device, they just expert on the active device. So if we challenge enough, then we have to do the system integration by ourselves. This is the next step, but will be very challenging because when you do a subsea cable investment, you talk about more than multiple $100 million. So not a small amount. Then it did not allow you to do the mistake when you do the design of the cable. Yeah, that's what I'm supplement to the answer.
Thank you.
Let me add one interesting information. For the one submarine cable system is the customized solution from the manufacturer. It means that we cannot use this system, equipment, and the cable to another system. Every system need to do the customize just only one by one. This very unique design and costs a lot of money for the submarine cable. Thank you.
To add one experience, long time ago when there was the earthquake in Taiwan, that our submarine system almost gone. That is one factor that we should think about. The maintenance vessel will select the subsea cable that has the most consortium members first. The private submarine cable will be the last. Meaning that if it happened in the same time, the vessel going to maintenance, the private, which is like 100% owned by just only one owner, will be the last subsea cable that is fixed. So this is another way around when we think about there is a lot of challenge, not just only the construction, the maintenance is another thing. Yeah.
Wim, you have a...
Yeah, for me, I think for the supplier in the ecosystem of subsea cable, I think for me it's not that challenge because the subsea cable design was designed by us, right? And I think the most challenging thing is when the subsea landing into, let's say, like specific area in Thailand. So I think it would take longer time. That's what Kun Wachira mentioned. That if the subsea owner need to specific land it into that area, there will be a lot of process that we need to do, like public hearing, and also ask for the approval. So I think this is kind of challenging that all the subsea owner, I think we are facing now. Yeah.
Thank you. Quite a lot of challenges and so in different aspects. That's not an easy task actually to grow and got those challenges and so. But very good opportunity for Thailand, and obviously working together from the point of view of Thailand is a key challenge. Then if quickly you can say what is your best way of an opportunity to work more together, and so how the market it is in Thailand, and you can have some more success, maybe higher sort, because maybe we're gonna be ending soon the panel. Mostly it's an open questions. We're still facing the same challenge, and then hear from Thailand to make it a new hub, and also keep it local, the traffic coming in, and so. Then you have another iteration of your thinking that you want to share with the audience?
I think nowadays technology changes so fast. Forecasting for 5 years is almost impossible. Maybe just 2 or 3 years is in the valid kind of the data that we can forecast. So to make it success for Thailand, I think for NT, we try to be like the brother in behind, try to see the overall pictures of Thailand. How can Thailand be sustainable for the future? Not just really the short-term investment that we so happily that is coming to Thailand, but we are trying to see for the futures. So building a very strong infrastructure of Thailand, meaning the domestic fiber optics, is the key things that we are trying to do at the moment. Another thing is the cross landing between Stun and Songkhla is another thing that we are going to do it, and building the Hat Yai as the major hub for the international system to Thailand. And another challenge is the Stun. I think that Kun Wim talking about the landing to Thailand. This is another thing that we are trying to approach the government, that a lot of new subsea cable that want to land in the western side of Thailand, there are lesser and lesser of the corridor that can land into Thailand at the moment because of the national reserve and the sea, the corridor. So we are approaching the government, try to build the stub from one cable landing station down to the sea to allow multiple of the subsea cable to touch into the western side of Thailand. This is another project investment that we are trying to approach the government to subsidize this kind of the stub investment. And the other thing we are not talking about is the neighboring country. Thailand connect to Cambodia, to Laos, and to Myanmar. So we try to make it as organized as possible in terms of the fiber connectivity to the bordering, to avoid the issue that we face a lot, like the flooding capacity, the fault cable that is from the mislicensing to lay the fiber across the country. So this is another thing that we are trying to approach with the government to make it organized perfectly for Thailand to be the hub for the other country.
Thank you.
Let me add on top of what Kun Ubonpan just mentioned, which is the landing corridor. It's quite important, especially in the Andaman side, because Andaman side, which is the strategic location, but 95% or more is belong to national park. So it means that there is only very limited area that we can land several cable in the future. So the landing corridor is very important. So I think for the all, we could have some kind of like the idea that the cooperation among all Thai operators, but we need the good support from the regulation to make it happen. Thank you.
Okay. For me, I think for Thailand, as I mentioned earlier, that we are in a good position. We are in a good location to be, connectivity hub. Yeah, if we look into Malaysia, Singapore, I think Malaysia, Singapore can remain as the major hub, right? While for Thailand, we play our role as the strategic hub for mainland Southeast Asia, and we can connect to Myanmar, Laos, or even extend it to southern China. So I think we are in very, very good position right now. Yeah, and also we have seen there's a lot of change in terms of the demand pattern from OTT and AI, that they looking for low latency, resilient of the network. They are not look for only capacity, but that they need the diverse route, scalable of the international connectivity. So this is something that they need, and we believe that for Thai partner, Thai provider, we also prepare to make it our infrastructure more stronger to support on this requirement. So I think this is something that we can do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm the last one. So we have no doubt that for Thailand, for either influx or outflux of the capacity is going to be really huge. And then, of course, when it's huge, customer will ask for quality of services. Of course, like panelists says me that Thailand have to upgrade infrastructure, especially for when we talk about connectivity. Fiber optic network is important for both terrestrially and then submarine cable as well. So then for terrestrial network, of course, we have to initiate the underground cable to support the high quality requirement, and then promote on the subsea cable as well. Like anyone saying that we have a limited corridor. So if we are together, drive via either Telecom Association or anyone that have the capability to talk to the government, and then open the additional corridor to support enough capacity for Thailand to support the future growth. That would be one thing. And then, of course, when capacity come bigger volume, then the cost reduction from customer will come. Then we have to be competitive and join hand to work. It doesn't mean that we have to provide the lowest cost one. Doesn't mean like that, but it means that we have to provide in the reasonable cost with the collaboration together from both the service provider and the customer as well. Yeah, to let all the party can be survive in the market. Yeah, and then lastly, delivery. Everyone talking fast time to market. How fast you can do. This is one topic as well. So this is the challenge from the country. And then at the end, like Wachira says, regulatory issue will be important. Then we have to set up the fair play regulation for those investors from foreign company. And at the end, the investment incentive will be attractive for everyone. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for listing all the different challenges and so. And then maybe we can close it here. We went through all the different points and so for all the challenges. And maybe you have some questions from the audience before we close. We still have some minutes on. Please.
Good afternoon. I have two questions for the panel speakers. The first question is for submarine cable to help Thailand to be the digital hub. I think question is to NT and also True. Will you see that the landing station should be an open access, similar to Singapore or even Hong Kong? That's the first question. The second question is, we heard the remarks that the cooperation between the Thai service provider to promote digital hub. Hence, would you think that the Thai providers can actually join hands together and actually talk to the regulators about promoting the submarine cable related matters, including the concerns, so that Thailand can become a prosperity or even the future attraction for digital infrastructure?
Thank you.
Can I answer just only one question?
Yes, I think it is directed.
Okay. About the first question is about whether CRS should be the open access, right? Actually, the key point of not to open access because of security concern. So if any cable landing station can manage security structure well, I think open the location nearby to the CLS point is always possible. Meaning that for NT, for example, in Sirasha CLS, we have our own cable landing station and we have also the land next door. So we plan to have the land next door, which is next door meaning that is lesser than 1 kilometer. So that one will be the open access location for our CLS. I think it's quite similar concept to like in Hong Kong that they have the area called CLS area, but in the area they can build a lot of CLS which is owned by different submarine cables. So we make this kind of the concept that in Sirasha, our own building, which is the security concern, is for us, but we also provide the next door kind of the landing to be like the open access point for other submarine to be there together and work together with us. Yeah, so open access, definitely yes, we have to do it, but how to make it properly and make security to be sure, I think is like is the number one concern for us, but we will do it for the other subsea cable. So we also open for the managed cable landing station to NTCLS as well. Yeah.
To answer the first question on behalf of True, we have the different thoughts. We are fully open access right now, both in Songkhla and Satun CLS. And now, for your record, we are working with a partner to land the cable invested by other consortium party, not True, in our station already. More than one cable system, and more is still coming soon. Thank you.
Actually, I want to add some more thing. Nowadays, in Thailand, we have 9 CLS, and NT own 5 out of 9. In other country, I think they are not this kind of huge, because 9, we have just only 12 of submarine cable on this 9 CLS. So if you think about double investment, duplicate investment in terms of CLS, I think it's yes, nowadays that we have a lot, but we have just only 12 out of this 9 CLS, meaning that I think it's the time that we have to think about to share CLS together, not to double investment in the same thing, that we have enough already for Thailand. So as I mentioned, NT also provide the managed CLS as well, but the rules and regulation to have managed CLS service within Thailand is still in the development kind of phase. So I hope that for Thailand, regulator will come up with a very good plan and regulation kind of rules for this kind of thing. Because in other countries, if you can think about like Japan or in Indonesia, in Malaysia, I don't think that there are a lot of managed cable landing station that type 3 license operator or the licensee just provide the CLS but not own the submarine at all. I don't see much of the country that doing this, except the country that is a big hub like Singapore or Hong Kong or USA, yes. But small countries just like Thailand, we are very fast to adopt this kind of the concept. So I hope that everybody want to provide this because the market changed, but we hope that the regulator will help us to have the fair and regulate rules in terms of this.
Thank you. Then do you want to add more reply to the questions?
So the question one, the panelists already answered. I don't answer
Yes,
much about
was,
that
yeah.
one. But the second question on how to collaborate, I think the mechanism in Thailand, normally to drive the policy to the government, we use the channel of Thai Telecom Association, which is the association of the service provider in Thailand. So in the past, when we have some topic would like government to support, then we set up the topic and talk in the association and drive to the government for the reason to get the government support. That could be the mechanism that we can use it.
Thank you. Wim, do you want to add some comments or?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of having all the Thai provider promote the connectivity into Thailand. I mean, I think this is I totally agree on this because right now, as I mentioned earlier, that this is the good time for us, to have Thailand become a connectivity hub, and we also have very, very strong in network infrastructure right now. I think it's time to work together, together with our also government to promote this route, together. I think this is good.
Thank you. Then yes, that's exactly the last word. At least someone want to ask more questions, but yeah, working together is always very important in internet community, including infrastructure and all possible to be able to sustain, maintain, and operate networks today. Any other questions? Then thank you. And round of applause from the panelists, please. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, round of applause for our panelists and speakers on this session. And please remain on the stage for one moment before you safely return to dry land. May I now invite Professor Kanchana Kanchanasud, Vice Chairman of the TICC Foundation, to present tokens of appreciation to our distinguished speakers and moderator on this session.